Alright, we got my buck here. Matt's gonna score it and see if it makes the Buckmaster's scoring. Why don't you tell everybody about the Buckmaster scoring system?
My name is Matt Byerly. I'm with Buckmaster's Trophy Records, scoring whitetails. So our system is pretty simple and self-explanatory, basic. There's no dry time, no deductions. The deer gets credit for every inch of bone that he grew. There's different categories. We have a hard antler velvet category, free roaming high fence, or we have a buck, and we also have a doe category. To be classified, to make the record book for archery, it's got to be 105 inches minimum for archery. For rifle or pickup, aka deadhead, is 140, and we have a shed category also that's 75 inches of bone. Doesn't count the spread for that to make the book, but the spread, inside spread, is counted towards the BTR score, which when they're entered into the record book, it's ranked by the total inches, but then the BTR score also counts for the record book also. So it's pretty simple. Get our tine measurements, our beam measurements, circumferences, any irregularities, and everything gets added up at the end and see where we're at.
Alright. I don't think it's gonna make it, but we'll see.
We'll see. This was his rifle buck for this year, so we got to have 140 inches of bone. We'll see where it ends up. All I'm doing here is I'm just going to put tape on the beams at the base of the points to get my baselines for my tine measurements, so I can have an accurate baseline for my tine measurements. Not wider at the base than it is for length. If it's wider, if you do your baseline and the point is wider at the base than it is in length, then it doesn't count. Personally, I like Buckmaster's way of doing things, just because, like I said, you could have shot this deer tonight, brought it to me, and we could have been scoring it while you were butchering it.
Yeah.
There's no dry time. And like I said, there's no deductions. The deer gets credit for everything he grew. So my opinion is, it's more convenient, I guess, for some guys or girls. What I'm working on here is just getting my baselines. So I'll lay my little straight edge across the beam, strike a line across it, and that'll give me my baseline for my measurements. Hunter came and saw me earlier in the year. I scored his buck for him. Ended up being the biggest buck that I've scored so far.
Yeah.
You guys have had a pretty good year this year.
Best year we've ever had.
Not all of us can say that.
Trust me, I thought I was gonna end up seeing spikes and 3 points all season.
Some days it'd be nice just to see a buck. I didn't even see one. Well, I did. I saw one in archery season. That was it. I didn't see that much this year. guys have any more trips planned for this year?
Other than area, we're done.
Erie?
So,
Fishing? When's that one? January or?
might not be till March, if weather keeps up.
Yeah, right there, very good out there, huh?
And it's supposed to get warm rain next week. So everybody going out. Yeah, I was season's over Sunday and then.
So what, 3 days? Don't they get out there?
No, they got a 7-day season
Okay.
here this week. And then the Saturday and Sunday weekend before Christmas, they have archery season too.
Okay.
But then the archery season goes from now until February.
Well, from the last weekend in September until first weekend in February. Is their archery.
Yeah.
Oh, and then they have inline in January, full day inline season.
It'd be nice if PA would extend there. It'd just be nice to have a longer season like that.
Yeah. I think it actually helps with deer, because people, you know, how much people are casting deer.
Well, and there's such an overpopulation of deer in the state of Pennsylvania. You know, people don't realize it, but you go talk to any of the farmers around, and there's just an unbelievable amount of deer around. You may not see them in the rifle season because they're smart. I mean, they hunker down, and we see it every year.
They know exactly what they. That's the first Wednesday of archery season. I was along a pheasant field. On her big light out. When the doe stood up in the field, I was feeding out across. It was a real windy day. The wind went up. I circled her. I blew down to go at her. Well, she spooked and started running straight towards me. And then she hit my actual wind. She stopped dead in her tracks, took 3 steps, and laid down.
Oh, really?
In the grass, yeah. And she didn't get back up until probably after dark. They know how to knock it down.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we see it every year our place, you know. You can go out for rifle season, there's deer all through the fields, you know, after the horn's been cut. And the season opener comes and they just disappear.
We'll hear it next week. That's one of our favorite times about game cameras.
When they start coming back out.
Yeah, see what made it.
I took mine out last week and I may stick some back out. Just wait and see.
That place is probably good on. Great fun. Probably some pretty long shots out there.
One of his relatives shot like a big buck. Big.
Pretty big. Like that big.
I didn't see a picture. He said bigger than any picture. But he let this picture be told. It's like 13 or 14 points. I have to ask if he has a picture.
So if you know anybody who wants to get a deer scored, send them my way. Or there's other guys around the state, depending on what area they're in, that we can get them hooked up with. Guys out in Ohio, you know, anybody like that.
Yeah. Is there a website that tells where?
Yeah, the easiest way to do it that I've found, when other people have asked me about the area they're in and who's close to them, I just do a Google search and search Buckmaster scorers, and it'll come up. It'll say, I think the link says like find a BTR scorer, and then it'll give you a state by state and what town and city they're in. Yeah. There's a couple guys in this general area around Indiana. I can't ever remember the name of the towns the guys are in, but there's one up like Beaver, Butler area. Tyrone, Pittsburgh. Yeah, so there's a few guys around.
Probably pretty much in at least like an hour's drive.
Usually it seems like in this side of the state within an hour and a half there's guys around. Bunch of guys in Ohio. Quite a few scores out there. They're all over the country, but
I don't know. We keep seeing bucks like this. We might start being better in Ohio.
yeah. PA's definitely stepped up its game in the last 5-10 years.
I contribute a lot of that to like his generation, maybe the generation before his. They seem to have a lot more self-control when it comes to shooting bucks.
Yeah, a few years ago, I was one of those guys that you went out and it was the first buck you saw. It was legal, you shot it, but then I really started investing some time and interest into it, and you realize that it does pay off if you let them grow a little bit, PA's really stepped up its game. And a lot of people are doing a lot conservation wise for
Yeah.
food plots and forestry and stuff like that to help give them places that they can have sanctuaries and get a chance to grow a little bigger.
Definitely seeing the benefits. That's for sure.
See anything out there?
No, too dark.
There's a bunch of desert.
Token maybe see some. Some walking up on your back porch.
They were up on the front porch last night eating the losses in the bushes out front. See tracks of snow might go for us.
They haven't hit ours yet.
Is that-
They haven't hit ours yet.
Oh.
We haven't, there's a bush out front that gets hammered every year.
Our losses get beat up pretty good.
Oh, my house don't even make it there. They keep them.
No, it's funny because they'll eat them in the spring when they first come up, and then they'll let them run for a while, and then partway through the summer they'll come back and chew them off again, and then they'll let them go a little bit.
Mine won't have any leaves. And the fires won't do anything.
Sneaky causes these asparagus.
Oh, really?
Asparagus, I'm good.
You don't like asparagus? I didn't as a kid, and that kind of grew on me as I got older. We probably had about 2 acres, well, maybe 2 acres of asparagus that we grew on a farm. We had our vegetable farm, and I always turned my nose up to it as a kid. But then, like I said, as I got older, it's not too bad. That's how you do it. I like to do it on the grill.
Send it out.
Let them eat it. Seem to try it.
Not your battery fry, fine. Not your battery fry. That's good. Cool.
Yeah, it's got some curves too.
They stay crooked. July this year. Stay still right next year. We're breaking up for. Not that sore.
Thank you.
We had a time last year. 290s at.
In one time?
One
Oh, yeah.
We call it crooked.
Be pretty interesting to see.
The last pictures I got of him was on October 28th of last year. And I thought he was dead because he got bored in his stomach. He had a huge gash in his stomach. And I found his sheds in March, or one of his sheds.
Oh, yeah?
Not crooked, unfortunately.
Trying to cook them.
But his, my buddy said they seen about the first time.
This year?
Yeah, this year in St. Mary's. The driveway, they had everything all messed up. I was getting pictures like I normally do, where I had to put my camera.
We had that one. I don't know if I showed you guys. I showed you a goofy one last time you were here. We had one last year. He was an 8. And I never put eyes on him. My buddy saw him. I had a chance to shoot him. I didn't. He wasn't a real big framed 8. But he was neat because his whole right side grew down below his jaw. So when you look at him, this side was up and this side kind of grew down and out. And I didn't know. I never heard anybody shoot him last year. And then he showed on my camera this year. And he had real nice 5 side on his left. And his right was 2 big spikes. They kind of went up like this. And then he had one that come out the side of his head between his eyes, his ear.
Oh, yeah.
And come out and kind of curl up a little bit. It's pretty neat. I never saw him this year either. I had a bunch of pictures of him before season. And I don't know. I haven't heard of anybody shooting him again this year. So I'm kind of hoping he survives to see what he is next year. But he definitely put some more this year from last year.
You're shaking your head.
Looking good.
I'm gonna call it 139 and 7/8.
Probably. Your luck.
I don't even think I'll do that, but
I don't know.
Really even on circumferences. Really even. Real close. Not too hard. Too bad.
I can stand here, I can see the stuff.
Maybe that's probably.
I don't want to see the score just yet.
I do.
Phone didn't update and the calculator different than it used to be. And I can actually delete one number now. I never realized that.
It's not an audio. I think it's not good. Thank you.
What are you thinking?
I'd say 133.
On your BTR or your inches?
The highest score.
The highest?
Yeah, like 133.
Alright, so your total inches, you had, on your beams, right side you had a 21 inch beam, left side you had a 22 inch beam. The longest time was your 2, your P2 on your right side was 9 4/8, left side was 7 6/8. Your circumferences were all super close. Right side first circumference was 4 and 2, 4 and 1 on the right, on the left, I'm sorry. And then the other ones were all even at 3 and 3/8, 3 and 1/8, and 3s. So you come out with total inches of 126 and 4/8. Add the inside spread of 16 and 1/8, gives you 142 and 5/8.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
If you want to look at it.
That's cool.
So unfortunately, it doesn't qualify for the book.
No, because
Just because of the total inches didn't make the 140. But I mean, that doesn't discredit this deer at all.
no, it's
No,
good.
not at all.
Very
You
good
guys,
deer.
you guys had definitely had a hell of a year.
yeah.
140 inch deer and 170 inch deer.
Yep.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. Real good. That's cool. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. If
Any other questions about Buckmasters or anything like that you guys have?
You have any questions?
I basically understand that I turn in a deer, I get a score.
I mean, it's more beneficial to get out in archery season to shoot a deer. It's easier to get
Yeah.
one for a book.
Yeah.
You know, in archery,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
harder to hunt archery, obviously, but
Unless
you
you have
know
the right
the
deer.
numbers are easier to make in archery season
Yeah.
than they are in rifle season.
Right.
But I mean, you can't, like I said, you can't discredit this buck because that's a bigger buck than a lot of people will ever shoot in their
Yeah.
lifetime.
That's my biggest buck. But yeah, so if you guys, any of you guys have a buck you want scored that you think will make the Buckmaster record book, or if you just do bucks for,
I mean, if somebody has one they want to score,
Yeah.
I'll give them a score for it. You
Yeah.
know, I'm willing to. I personally like to sit down and hear the stories. You know, hear how the deer were killed.
yeah,
You know, I like talking about it and hearing about it. So, you know, if somebody has a deer that they don't think necessarily will make the book, bring it in anyway. Get a hold of me. I have a Facebook page. It's Buckmasters
official score.
official score, Matt Byerly. Hit me up on there. I think you were gonna maybe put a picture of my business
Yeah,
card
I'll
on there.
picture the business card, and then I'll find that website that shows you where the Buckmasters for your area, where you can search and see who does it. But yeah, give Matt a call if you're local to Indiana. You know, it's southwestern Pennsylvania.
And if you're not right local, we can figure something out.
Yep.
You know, I'll help you find somebody, or we can make other arrangements and get it done somehow.
Well, every once in a while you go different places too.
I have, yeah. I usually do the taxidermy show at the KCAC in the spring, in March. They do that taxidermy. It's the PA State Taxidermy competition. I went there last year. I plan on going there again this year, setting the table up. I had some people bring some stuff in. One of the vendors, he's a taxidermist. He's from Maryland, or not Maryland, out eastern PA. It was an Illinois buck that he had. I scored that for a guy, and then some people ran home and got stuff and brought it in to me. So there's different. I can set stuff up at sporting goods stores. You know, if anybody wants to get a day together, you have some friends that have 3 or 4 or 5 deer you want to get done, get a hold of me. We'll set something up.
All right. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Good job.
How did you get into scoring?
Kind of a funny story.
I don't know if the camera would pick that up or not since you talk so quietly. My wife just asked how Matt got into scoring.
So one of the guys I work with was going to take the class. They don't offer the class very often. And he asked if I'd be interested, so I emailed the guy, got on a waiting list, then ended up, some people dropped out of the class, so he emailed me, and I told him I wanted to do it, so I drove down to Cabela's in Wheeling on a Saturday and took the class, and then had to pass the test at the end, and got my certificate, and here we are, able to do it now, so I enjoy it. I think it's a lot of fun. seeing all the different
Oh, yeah,
deer
it
and
would be
hearing the stories and
awesome.
meeting people, and it's been a blast. So, yep.
All right. I don't think we'll be bringing any more this year. Maybe next year.
Definitely
Not unless
I
you
wanna
want to
say-
for archery again.
Maybe.
I want to say thank you for scoring
Absolutely.
my buck too.
Yeah, congratulations on yours also. That was a heck of a buck. I know you were a little surprised whenever
Yeah, I
you
was.
got the official score on it. I don't think you talked for about 2 minutes after that. I thought you were gonna fall on the floor.
I didn't think I was going to score that high.
It was definitely a good deer, really good deer for PA. Both of them were. I mean, 140-inch deer in PA is nothing to laugh at.
No.
120-inch deer in PA is a good deer, you know. So yeah, you guys have done good.
All right, but yeah, give Matt a call and have him score your dear.
How
Till
many
next
waiting?
time.